too many observers reason as if intentions automatically translate directly into outcomes. And then you of all people go on to quote approvingly from Friedrich Engels, Karl Marx's co-author in the Communist Manifesto, and he has this phrase, what emerges, that Engels makes the argument, intentions don't matter as much as, quote, what emerges.
Yes.
You use that. So explain that.
Well, what Engels says is that what each person wills is obstructed by everyone else. And what emerges is something that no one will.
Right.
And so you can't go from intentions to results. And as if to emphasize that, I later go into the question of South Africa under apartheid, so that we don't get it and bogged down in the question of how much racism there is and so forth, because it's unambiguous.
Right.
That
state policy.
Yes, it's state policy. It's the law. And yet there were industries in South Africa under apartheid where there were more blacks hired than whites in occupations where it was illegal to hire blacks at all. And that part of the problem that the people who were imposing apartheid had was that there's money to be made by hiring black workers. And so whatever the racial views of the employer, he's thinking about the money.
Right.
And so you get all these anomalies. And of course, my colleague and friend Walter Williams, when he did research in South Africa for 3 months, and he lived in an area that was set aside for whites only. So that even in the housing market, you had this kind of thing. And at least one area in South Africa, non-whites were a majority in one of the areas set aside for whites only. And again, it's the cost of the discrimination. And you get that with minimum wage arguments as well, that if you have a minimum wage, then that's set above where it would be in a free market. Then that means you're going to have more people applying because there's a higher wage, and there are going to be fewer people hired because of the higher wage. Right. And so you're going to have a chronic surplus of applicants. Right. Now, in a market where there's, say, a chronic surplus of qualified people of, say, 200, and there are 100 blacks, for example, who are qualified, then if the employer refuses to hire all 100 black qualified people, he still has 200 others he can call on, and that's it. It's cost him nothing. But if there's no minimum wage now, and there's no chronic surplus, every time he turns away a qualified black person, he has to have someone who's not black, who's also qualified, that he can hire.
And he may not be able to find that person.
At that price. Therefore, the price will have to go up, and so it's costing him. And if he doesn't raise the price, he's going to have to keep his customers waiting because he doesn't have enough people to do the job.
Got it.